We love the trails, but our footprints leave a mark. How do we protect the wild places we run in? I'm Laura Briggs, and this is Storytime with the Green Runners, where we meet trailblazers taking imperfect actions for a healthier planet. This series is entirely supported by our members. If you believe in what we do, please consider joining the Green Runners. For the price of a coffee a month, you can help us work towards a greener future. Find the link in the show notes. Now, let's get into today's story. Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Kevin, a seasoned ultra runner, dedicated volunteer, and the driving force behind the Green Runners local meetups in Nottingham. Kev has taken on some of the most formidable endurance challenges in the UK, but he's equally passionate about grassroots community building and helping runners reduce their impact on the planet. Kev, thanks for joining us today.
Hi Laura, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Kev, let's start with your background on the trails. Okay, you've racked up an impressive list of ultramarathon finishes. You've done Montane Spine Race, Arc of Attrition, and the Lakeland 100, and also the Dragon's Back Race across Wales. So I want to know, what is it that draws you to these multi-day, brutally tough endurance events, and what keeps you coming back for more?
So I guess the challenge, I like the adventure. I love seeing new places, and I like point-to-point journeys, like over multiple days. And also, I'm getting older and slower, and so you can stop and have a cup of tea and things like that along the way.
I think we all like the stopping and having a snack, don't we, or a drink midway through an ultra. It's part of the charm. Beyond the running, Kev, you also spend a lot of your time volunteering, especially crusade at the Spine Race. So what made you want to step onto the other side of the aid station table, and what has volunteering taught you about the ultra community?
Well, good question. So I love the whole community, and I think if you can't run, if you're not running each year, then it's good to give something back and see the race from the other side, and you still feel involved if you're volunteering and part of the race. So I love that side of things. You get to see your friends every year, the people that you've met and got to know over the years at the race, and you get to see the real like elites, the fast people that you wouldn't normally see if you were racing. So you can see them coming and going, and how quick they are and how efficient they are, and just how amazing they are. And it's great fun. I love it. It's brilliant.
That's a really good point, because actually most of us runners don't get to see the elite finishers, do we? Because we're all kind of way at the back. But if you volunteer, then you get the chance to see all those people. Such a good reason for doing it. How did you get into running in the first place? Did you always want to run kind of hundreds of miles, or did it just start with a local park run?
Oh no! So I actually played a lot of team sports as a youngster. So football and rugby, and I was really into team sports. And I actually was with some work colleagues and at a party near Christmas back, I think 2007, something like that. And there was a poster on the wall for a local 12K race, bit of a strange distance. So one of my friends said we should trade and have a go at that. So we did, and that's what started it. We all finished, about 4 or 5 of us finished, and it kind of become a bit of an obsession from there, really. And we started doing longer distances and marathons, and I did actually start parkrun. You mentioned parkrun. I ran my first parkrun at Bushy Park before it was actually called parkrun, so it was still UK time trial back in those days. So I was quite an early adopter of parkrun, and it's obviously become an enormous community event, which is amazing. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, and I chased a marathon PB for a lot of years on the roads, and I achieved my goals there, and then I thought I'm going to run trails and ultra races and things like that. And yeah, that's how I got into the longer distances.
Gosh, so you're an OG park runner, and then quite competitive as well at the start. Is that how you kind of really got into it? Are you still competitive?
Yeah, I'm competitive with myself. I think I've never raced other people at races. I might have a sprint finish with somebody if they were close, like local cross country leagues and things like that. But I'm only ever chasing my own time and the clock. I've never really tried to race other people. So yeah, I'm competitive, but with myself,
Only with yourself.
not others. Yeah.
Love that. So tell me how the Nottingham local meetups first came to be and what made you realise that there was a demand for this offline community-led green runner sessions.
Well, so I think I first became aware of like people asking for local meetups on social media. So I kind of follow the green runners and I help a little bit with the social media side of things. And I noticed people saying it would be great to have some like community meetups and runs and things. And Nottingham's got an enormous running community. It's absolutely massive in Nottingham. So there are lots of clubs here, lots of different running groups. So I thought, well, there'll be people who want to get involved. So I then decided, well, let's organise a meetup, see who comes along, put something out on social media, and that's kind of what spurred it on really. What started it was just a few comments on social media, and my own desire to meet other green runners. I was aware that there were other people in the community, and I really wanted to meet like-minded people. So that was what spurred me to get started.
You're incredibly humble, Kev, when you say that you do a little bit of social media for the Green Runners. I mean, really, you do so much for the Green Runners, and spearheading the Nottingham local meetup has been an absolute masterstroke because now everyone wants to know how to get involved. They're popping up all over the place now. Looking back at the runs that you've led so far, what's been a standout moment or a highlight for you personally?
Oh, so definitely the people. There's meeting new people. They're all really lovely, all different like backgrounds and walks of life and so on, and lots of different experiences in terms of the environment and climate and green running. We've got people who work in the field of sustainability that come along to the meetups. We've got people that sort of are teachers and they work in factories and so on. So a whole different diverse community of people, and they're definitely the highlight for me. They're the different people, and they've all become really good friends, which is really lovely. And I guess some characters as well. So I hope you won't mind me saying, but Matt, we've got a couple of Matts who come along. One of the Matts, he's become pretty famous for arriving about 30 seconds before the start of the park run that we normally meet at. And he's very fast, so he comes charging past everybody and then waits for us all at the finish line. So that's quite amusing. We all kind of have a little bet each month as to what time Matt might actually arrive. So yeah, those are the kind of highlights. Definitely the people and characters like Matt. They make it fun.
Like you just said, you bring people together from all walks of life, which is just so lovely to see when people all come together. And it's obviously a highlight for you. But obviously working with people and, different types of people with different views and, all over the place, there's got to be some tricky bits about getting everyone together in a local group. What are the challenges of setting up a local meetup and what do you do to keep that momentum going?
So honestly, there are not that many challenges. I've not found that many challenges really. I think picking a good venue is important. We're very lucky in Nottingham that we use parkrun as a bit of a driver for this. So we kind of base ourselves at different parkruns or visit different parkruns each month, and so we're lucky that we've got lots of parkruns in Nottingham. so that there's plenty to choose from. We kind of vary it a little bit each month, go to different places, and that helps as well because people live in different parts of the city, so they can join different venues. And I guess the biggest thing or the most important thing is being consistent. So a bit like running, really. If you want to get better at running, you've got to be consistent and you've got to keep going out and doing the hard work. And that's the most important thing I've found is, going every month, arranging a meetup every month and making it consistent so that everybody knows there's once a month there's a date in the diary and we're going to go and meet and have a run and then have a cup of coffee and maybe a litter pick as a bit of a cool down, and then a bit of a social afterwards. And it's that consistency that counts. And probably the biggest challenge is my own diary, fitting it in around my own commitments, sort of work and family commitments and so on. That's probably the biggest challenge. But in terms of bringing people together, that's not difficult. Finding a venue is not difficult. It's just picking a date, really. That's the biggest challenge.
Well, and your dedication is testament to why it works so well. And having the Nottingham meetup so regularly, they've just every month you're doing the meetups and you kind of grow as a group, don't you? We've got people who are always emailing us, Kev, as you know, who might want to lead a local meetup, or they might want to just participate in it, but not take the lead. We actually opened up some questions to our members who are interested in it. So I've got some questions here for you, which I hope you can answer for us. So the first one is Sarah from Sheffield, who says, "I'd love to start a group in my area, but I'm really nervous about the admin. Do I need to be a qualified UKA run leader or coach to organise a Green Runners meetup?"
Good question. No, you don't need to be a coach or a leader in running fitness through UKA. If you want to organise a meetup away from an organised event like parkrun, then that can be helpful because those qualifications provide you with public liability insurance and so on, which you'd need to consider. So you need to consider things like risk assessment, first aid provision if you're organising a meetup away from an organised event. And that's one of the reasons I choose in Nottingham to organise the meetups around parkrun venues, because essentially we're piggybacking off of parkrun. We are using the event as our catalyst for a meeting point. All of the first aid provision is provided, all of the public liability insurance is covered, and we are all just participating at an organised event and then going for a bit of a coffee afterwards. So that would be my top tip if you're worried about insurance and all the different barriers and pieces of red tape and legislation, is use parkrun as a venue and meet there, like lots of different community groups and clubs do across the country. And the other good thing about parkrun is it's all around the country now. There's loads of different venues to choose. So most places have got a parkrun fairly close nowadays. So yeah, that would be my top tip.
So the easiest thing is piggyback off of an existing event. But it is worth saying as well, isn't it, Kev, that if anyone, wants to do a run leader course and they're interested in leading a local meetup, that drop the Green Runners an email, because we can support people who want to do that. And we can offer advice or signpost people to where they need to go. Dave from Leeds, he's asked, what actually makes a location good for a Green Runners meetup? Is it just about having a nice trail to run on?
Well, a nice trail is always good. I would prefer that to a road, but some people like their tarmac and so on. And actually, tarmac is more accessible for people in wheelchairs, and if you've got a child in a buggy and things like that. So that's something to consider. That is something that we need to consider. But I would say the biggest thing is accessibility from a public transport point of view. So as Green Runners, we want to promote sustainable travel. How we move is one of our pillars, and so look for venues where it's easy to get to using public transport. Maybe you can run there as a warm up, or cycle as a warm up, and pick venues around the accessibility from a transport perspective to limit that carbon footprint for people travelling to the event.
You've also done kind of activities like plogging as well, like picking up litter as you run. And I hear as well, Kev, that you always like to end in a nice cafe. Is that correct? Nice
That's
coffee.
Right. Yeah. So we always do a cool down jog, stroke walk with some litter pickers and gloves and black sacks and so on. And we pick as much litter as we can. Some parks, I'm really pleased to report, are like really clean, and we don't find much litter at all, which is amazing. That's really good. And then some months we find a bit more, and that's not so good. But we try and do our bit, and that actually promotes some discussion with other people at the park run and in other park users. They kind of ask what we're doing and ask about the green runners, and we've got our patches or badges on, and they ask, well, what's this you're doing? What's this organisation? So we kind of have a little chat with them and do our bit to promote the green runners, and then we go for a coffee, a coffee or a cup of tea, and sometimes a bit of cake as well. Yeah,
naturally, cake is always important, isn't it, at the end of a run?
Absolutely.
Last question. We've got Maya from Bristol, who would like to know how you keep the runs inclusive so people aren't intimidated by the ultra runner reputation.
Absolutely. So I think we do. You're right. We green runners. There's a lot of members who are into their ultra running, particularly our high profile founders and so on. The people like amazing runners like Damien and Jasmine. I guess keep it social. Keep it really relaxed. We all run at our own pace, so there's no pressure to run as a group. So people tend to pick their own partners to run with if having a chat. Sometimes they speed up. We've got people like Matt, who I mentioned, who just chases off and off he goes, and he passes everybody. And then some of us have a social jog round and a good catch up, and maybe a sprint finish at the end. And we've also, it's been quite fun actually chasing PBs. So occasionally, if someone's after a PB, we might team up and do a bit of pacing and things like that. So you can make it fun. We get people who walk. So I've walked a few. We get members who walk every month because they prefer to walk, and we get people who volunteer. So I know that a lady called Grace is coming to our next meetup this month and is volunteering rather than running. So that's always an option if you're injured or you're not up to running, or maybe it's a rest day in your plan. You can always volunteer as well and still be involved, and then come for the litter pick and the social afterwards. So lots of options.
Fantastic. And that makes it so inclusive, doesn't it? Because like you said, if you don't want to run one day, you can walk, you can volunteer, you can pick up litter, you can have a coffee. It's kind of whatever you want it to be. If someone is listening and wants to come along to a Nottingham meetup, Kev, what can they expect, and how do they find out when the next one is?
So in terms of finding out about the meetups, follow us on social media. So we're on, the Green Runners are on Facebook and Instagram and Blue Sky. Follow us along there. We've also got our website, so you can find out about the local meetups on the website. And we send out newsletters. So if you join the Green Runners, you get a newsletter each month, which has all the information in about the meetups that are going on around the country. So lots of ways of finding out where we're meeting and when, and what to expect. So a relaxed atmosphere. It's literally turn up, look out for the people with the Green Runners badges on. We'll have a designated meeting point, normally outside the cafe, and then we kind of set off. Everyone runs at their own pace. Like I say, they can walk, maybe volunteer. And then it's congregate afterwards. Once everyone's finished, we go for a litter pick, as I've mentioned, and then we'll find our way back to the cafe. And the beauty of the litter pick is that after parkrun, everyone goes to the cafe. That's a big part of Saturday morning. But we have the litter pick, so we get there slightly later, and the tables are free because people have started to leave and so on. So we don't have to queue at the cafe and things like that. So that's always good. And yeah, and we sometimes it's, you know, sometimes people have to dash off, and that they, you know, there's no pressure to stay. Other months we're still there at midday and beyond, and chatting and drinking tea. So yeah, really relaxed, and you can make it whatever you want it to be.
Sounds fantastic. And for anyone inspired to step up as a host in their own town, how does the Green Runners support new leaders through the process?
So we've got lots of guidance we can supply. So if you email us, we've got a couple of email addresses, but they're on the website. You can find those. There's a local meetups email address, and email us there. Register your interest, and then we can send you all the information required. Lots of guidance around how to get started, and then also we can join calls and provide information one-to-one as well, sort of on Google chats and things like that. So lots of different ways of finding out how to get involved and to lead. And if you want to get involved with the coaching side of things, getting your qualifications, we can also provide some sort of guidance on how to go about getting those as well.
Absolutely. It's always worth dropping us an email. There's the local meetups at thegreenrunners.com, as you said, Kev. But also, if people just want to get in touch via social media, equally, someone will pick up that message and it will get passed to the right person, won't it? So lots and lots of ways of getting in touch. Looking ahead on the local calendar, you and your team of volunteers are going to be out in force at the Nottingham Green Festival. So could you tell us what the Green Runners will be doing there, and what can visitors expect when they come and find your stall?
Yes, so 13th September, we've got a stall at the Nottingham Green Festival, which is a really great day in Nottingham. You get lots of different organisations there. There's lots going on. So we're really excited about that. This year we hope to have a bigger stall at the festival than last year. We were there last year, but we hope to have a slightly bigger stall, more going on. So you can come along, you can meet the team. There's lots of different local Green Runners that are going to be there. So they're there to talk about the Green Runners, tell you all about it, answer any questions you may have. Hopefully persuade you that it's a really good organisation to get involved with and sign up. So you can sign up on the day. We're going to have a pledge wall / table. So you can pledge against our 4 pillars. So for those who don't know, the 4 pillars are how we move, how we kit up, how we fuel, and how we speak up. So or speak out. And so you can pledge against any of those 4 pillars. We're going to have a competition to win a pair ups kit. So that's been donated by Pair Up, so a trainer repair kit. We've got trainer repairs going on, so you can bring your shoes if they need some patches putting on. We can patch your shoes for you. And also, weather permitting, we're going to have a guided 5K run as well. So a few of us will guide a 5K run. So lots going on throughout the day. And I'd encourage people to come along and say hello.
Wow, loads of reasons to head over. And I'm super impressed that you remembered our 4 pillars straight off the bat as well, because I'm always like, oh God, what's the 4th one? You just, they rolled off the tongue, Kev, well done. Why is taking part in local events like the Nottingham Green Festival so vital, Kev, for bridging the gap between everyday sport and environmental action?
So I think the biggest thing is, so the most important thing for the Green Runners is speaking out. That we consider that to be the most important of our pillars, and joining with other organisations at events like the Notts Green Festival really helps us to amplify our voice, our collective voice, speak up on climate issues and environmental issues, and join with like-minded groups in promoting the issues that we face in terms of climate change. Meet those organisations, maybe form new relationships, collaborations, and so on. So really important to go along and meet those other groups, especially locally, because it's not an enormous festival, but it's got lots of local groups there. So that's really important to meet the other local organisations and promote what we all do together.
Absolutely. And what's your message to anyone attending the festival who might be curious about making their running a little bit greener?
So come along, find out what the Green Runners are all about. Come and speak to the lovely people at the stand. There's nothing to be intimidated about. They're all really lovely, really welcoming, just like everybody else. And they share all the same concerns about maybe the climate and the climate crisis that we face. And it's a chance to join with them, have conversations, and get involved. Really, it's just a great opportunity to meet new people
and take that first step into getting a little bit greener. Kev, thank you
Yes.
so much for taking the time to share your story, your advice and your passion with us today. It's inspiring to see how ultra running grit can be turned into real, tangible community action. To everyone listening, head over to the Nottingham Green Festival website to check out the details for the festival. Go say hello to Kev and the team at their stall and check out the Green Runners website to find your nearest meetup or start one of your own. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, happy green running.
Thanks for listening to Storytime with the Green Runners. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to make sure you never miss a story.